Trapped by the belief that I'm not good enough, bound by the limitations and the lies that consumed my world, this was me. It wasn't until I took the biggest leap in my life to know and trust the power within. And it was at that moment I made a choice. My past will not define me anymore. Hello, I am Teri Cardula, and I know I am not alone in this. Over the years, I have found that the number one mistake that we make is that we get in the way of our own success story. Yes, I said it. On this show, together we'll tackle limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, getting stuck, fear, doubt, overwhelm, and the imposter syndrome. Join us on this journey designed to transport you beyond your limitations to a world where anything is possible. This is Talking with Teri. Hello, and welcome back to Talking with Teri, where we have powerful conversations to transform your life and your business. And I am so excited and delighted to have our guest on here. I've gotten to the pleasure of knowing this lady over the last year here, and you guys are in for quite the treat. So I have Annie Gerber with us today. She's a transformational energy communication guide and the founder of Healing with Human Design. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Teri. Happy to be here today.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So tell us a little bit, those that have not met you yet, tell us a little bit about how you got to be where you're at today. And let's unpack that for everyone.
Okay. Well, I have been a successful business owner, serial entrepreneur since the age of 26.
Yes.
Done a lot of different things. And so I've been doing it for quite a while. So I just love that. So a few things that led me into what I'm doing now, I did photography for a little while, and I really understood, and I was able to work with people and see their beauty from the inside, and was able to bring that out. And so it really changed the way I perceive things. It changed my perspective on how I see life and people. And so I think I've always been that way, but doing the photography really brought that out. And so,
nice. So is that what led you into getting curious in the human design, more the inner work?
Yes, actually, some groups that I was in when I was doing photography, they kind of delved into the spiritual side as well. So I was introduced to human design actually when I was doing photography back in 2011. And so that's when I really got excited about it. I got my first reading in 2013 and then became certified in 2020.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love this. Okay. So tell us a little bit about, for folks that maybe have not heard about human design, because there's so many different modalities out there, right? And I think that, in total transparency, as humans do not come with our own, what do you want to call it?
Operator's manual.
An operator's manual, a buyer's guide, a manual, right? And so I think that, anytime we seek out, some of this information, I always find it so helpful into help identifying and also validating at times, this makes sense why I operate the way I do. Mm-hmm. And it gives, I feel like, such clarity in the process. Mm-hmm. and as well as maybe things that we can work on. Where's our strengths? Exactly. Where's our weaknesses? Mm-hmm. Where do we hone in, and where do we really leverage up on those different aspects of ourselves? So tell us a little bit about, if you can, just give us a little, maybe an umbrella of what human design is and what it helps us to do.
Okay. Yeah. Human design it's just a lens to see yourself. And it uses so many different modalities. It uses astrology, the Chinese I Ching, the Kabbalah tree of life, and the Hindu chakra system, as well as some quantum physics. So it takes all of these modalities and puts it into one tool. And it's so powerful. You can go so deep with it. And again, it's just one lens in which to view yourself. But I feel like it's the most powerful for me because it shows you how you're different from everyone else. And it shows you the highs and the lows of that expression. I don't want to say that you have your gifts, everybody has the gifts, but it shows you when you're out of alignment, how that shows up. So you can be aware of it. So you can have those emotional clues so that you can get back into alignment and stay in flow.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. So, and then there's 5 types, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Some people say 4 types, and then there's a subtype of the generators. Yeah. So we'll go through those really quick. So we have manifestors. They're about 8 to 9% of the population. And then we have the generator types, which are the pure generators and the manifesting generators. And they're about 70% of the population, 35% each. So manifestors, they're like the initiators. They're here to get things done. They have that pure connection to source. And the generator types, they're like the workhorse of the planet. We're here to do all the work. And generators, they have the energy, but manifesting generators, they have a little bit of that manifestor as well. So they're also called time benders in quantum human design. So you're able to do.
Ooh, what does that mean? I want to be a time bender.
So you don't have to necessarily do things linear. You can juggle all sorts of different things, and it doesn't have to go A, B, or C. It can go, and you have lots of shortcuts. And
I love that, because I always tell people that, oftentimes that we think A plus B equals C, and in reality, it's A plus 9 equals purple,
right?
Which means that it doesn't have to go the way we think in this linear thing, because I think sometimes we get trapped in that linearity, or that linear thinking, versus being really expansive and allowing for people, places, things to show up in a really magical way. So I love
right.
this.
And you're a manifesting generator, aren't you?
I am.
Okay,
yes.
So that makes sense that you.
Yes, that makes sense. But
yes.
I love that. I love the phrase time bender.
Yes. You're able to just cut through things and get to And then we have projectors, and they're about 21% of the population. And they're the new guides. They're here. They can actually see the potential, and they know how to what needs to get done and they can see the efficiency. And then the reflectors, they're 1% of the population, and they're here to reflect back to the world, the state of the world that we're in. So it's an amazing.
And all these types, if you will, are all required, right? For all of humanity. Yeah,
absolutely.
So there's no one that's better than the other. It's just
absolutely not.
Like going back to your point, it's like we're all different.
Mm-hmm.
And in this lifetime, it's like, okay, what is Annie here to do and serve, and what is her purpose? And it goes directly back to our purpose. Like, what is our purpose? Right. And so would you agree that this is a tool that can help people plug into and understand their purpose a little bit better?
Mm-hmm. It's a tool in which to view it, and it's an experiment as well. You have to try it on for yourself, and because I know a lot of people can get caught up in the dogma, and they get caught up in these labels. Oh, I'm a generator, or I'm a projector. But it's again just having that awareness of your design, but it really helps you hone in on who you came here to be. Okay,
I love it. Okay, so when we were talking offline, you talked about, I love this, what you were saying is that you have this process that you call the CHI. So yes. CHI. So what does the C stand for?
C stands for clarity of purpose. And that begins with knowing your human design. That's what I like. I like to begin to take people through their human design, so they have this energetic awareness of who they are and what they came here to do, and how they interact with others. So,
wonderful. Yeah. And I've done mine. It's been a while since I've done mine, so I have to go back and look at that. But what you just briefly described, I was like, oh yeah, that I can see myself into that. Is so once I do this human design and I have that piece, can you take us through like maybe an example of how this all fits together in a person's life, and how you kind of help because you do readings after a person's done this, and you take them through that process. Can you help me go through that process with us?
Yes. So we would sit down and do your reading, but and what I like to say, you're presented with this operator's manual. So with your human design in the reading, you get a 35-page PDF. So it goes, it's a lot of information, because for me, I like to equip the person with information. So the more the better, just so you can have, and you might not understand, and understand it right away, but it gives you that clarity. And I think just seeing your design actually is a transmission, and you can see what this energy looks like. So so I like them to know their human design, and just get a feel for that, and what that means for them, and just to have that roadmap, that operator's manual, so they can go back, and when they feel like they get these energetic clues that they might be out of alignment, then they can go back to their design and say, oh, this is where I need to recalibrate and get back into alignment.
Okay. Can you give me an example of one of those moments where you might need to kind of recalibrate?
Yes.
for
Yeah, well,
yourself, or even for like, because you know what I'm a, what
yeah,
did you call it? Manifesting generator. Yeah.
manifesting generator. And so yours is kind of similar to mine in that, so I'm a generator. So I know when I'm getting frustrated, then I'm out of
Mhm.
alignment. I'm not saying yes to the things that I should be saying yes to. I might be saying yes to things that I should actually be saying no to, and then getting myself into a pickle because I can't get out of it, because it should have been a no, but I said yes because I wanted to please people, because I do have the energy. So, and just knowing that, and just when you feel off, and just being aware of that emotional clue. And then
Gotcha.
human design gives you, each type has an authority that goes with it. So when you have that emotional clue and you feel like you're out of alignment, then you, am I following my yeses? Or projectors, am I waiting for the invitation? So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Neat. What is it? I'm just out of curiosity. What's it for the manifestor generators? What's the authority?
Oh, it's informing, and you're waiting to respond, but then you're also, are you emotional, or do you know if you're emotional, or if you have sacral authority?
I don't know.
Okay, so it
It's been a
depends.
while. It's been
It depends. So
yeah.
it might be just a yes or a no. It's body. Is it a or is it a yes or a no? And so that's when you know if it's correct for you. But sometimes when you have an emotional authority, you kind of have to wait out that emotional wave.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So fascinating. Okay. So everyone has this authority piece of it.
Mhm.
And then that's kind of like the indicator that says, okay, this is when we're in alignment. This is when we're not in alignment.
Mhm. And that's the best way for you to make decisions.
Okay. Great. I love it. Okay. So then the I, what does the I stand for in your chi?
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't talk. So H stands for honing in
Okay.
that
Is there something
self-awareness.
else? Is there something else that you want to add into there?
Oh, yeah. So just kind of being mindful, and just bringing that information back into the body. I'm sorry. I guess I got
That's
a little
okay.
mixed up on the H.
That's okay. So,
yeah.
okay. So going back, well, so sticking to the clarity of the purpose,
Mhm.
is there a tool or a strategy that you help folks move to that place?
Yes, that's what I do with honing in that self-awareness, and the grounding,
Okay.
and the breath work, and just kind of understanding what it's like being in their own body, and just letting that
Okay.
energy integrate, and just understand it. Yeah.
So tell me, so is there an exercise that you lead your clients through to hone into that?
Just a really quick one that I love to do, just to check in, is just to check in with your body, and just begin to put your feet on the floor.
Okay, let's do this. If you're driving, okay. I'm so sorry. You
Yeah.
please have to come back to this recording. So, so feet flat on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Your hands on your lap, if that's comfortable for you, and just begin to take some deep belly breaths.
Okay.
Just breathing in through your nose, not through your mouth, and just checking in with yourself. Check in with your belly. Is it relaxed? And just notice your seat sitting in the chair, and your feet on the floor, and just really get in tune with your energy, and just checking in to see if you're grounded. And that's one of the quickest ways that I like to just bring myself into my body.
I think this is, is as simple as it seems. I think it's hard, especially for the entrepreneurs and business owners and, women on the go, to really, take a moment just to tap back in.
Right.
So this is a great reminder for all of us to connect with this.
Yeah, just for me, just in that few seconds that we did that, it brought me back down a little bit. So
yeah. Same.
Yeah.
We kind of forget how it's like the power of the breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's honing your self-awareness, and then we can do that through just a simple, super simple couple seconds, just a belly breath, and reconnecting with our source energy, with our, back into our body.
Yes, it's so important to be in our bodies.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
And then I was just going to say that, and then I stands for igniting curiosity. So taking that information that we learn in our human design, and knowing what it feels like in our body, what that energy feels like, and just what would we do if we know that we have this possibility, that we are this design? Like, what would you do? What are the possibilities? So it's just kind of, it's really exciting.
I love that, igniting curiosity. I love curiosity, and what would we create? What would we, what are we speaking life into? Right.
Because now that you know it, and now that you feel it, so speak into that.
I love it. And I think that that's a great reminder for all of us, as to what are we speaking life into? versus what we are maybe focusing on the problems or the challenges, because I think sometimes that gets the best of us. This morning, I had a situation with, it was brought to my attention from one of my staff members, and she was explaining the situation. And I was like, oh, the situation was like, again, really heavy on one direction instead of, going back into this place of curiosity, this place of possibility of like, okay, let's bring about and breathe in this new place. And what are we speaking life into? And it was funny. So when we had this conversation, I just told her, I said, you know what, let's flip the switch, and you know what happened in this situation within, I don't know, 15 minutes, the person responded back with this text message and they gave the explanation, and it was so different. And we're like, oh, like this makes, like, it makes sense. And it just opened up this level of energy. And just by just tapping back into this place of, what are we creating and speaking life into?
Right. And being aware of that it needed to be shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the listeners that are joining us today, I'm going to invite you to ask the question, what is it that what are you speaking life into?
Mm-hmm.
What are you calling into existence? What we think about, we bring about. So what are we, placing in and inviting into our lives? And that can be, based on, kind of our purpose in this life. Now, I heard that you have a free resource for people to check out. Can you share how people can tap into that?
Yes. If they go to my website, anniegerber.net, they can actually get their free chart. Yes.
Yes.
So they just
fill
in. Yes. So it's very important. You have to have your correct birth information, and you want to have your correct birth time. So double check your birth certificate to make sure. But website, you can download a copy of your free chart and find out what your type is. And actually it gives you quite a bit of information, just that pre-report. So
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite everyone to go check that out. Go look at what your birth chart is. And if you want to connect with Annie, for more of a detailed reading, please do that as well. Because I have probably done and tried like every assessment tool that there's. No, probably not, but like I've been really close. But I find it so fascinating because every time you do something, you are learning more about yourself,
Absolutely.
How you can make these fine, tweaks to allow you to show up as a better person, a better mom, a better sister, a better, employee, a better boss, a better all of it. And so
yes, a better
I think
human.
these are such a better human at the end of the day, right? And so we could all use some, increases in and activations in this planet. So
Absolutely.
I absolutely love this. Any final thoughts or a final message that you would like to leave our listeners with today?
Just understanding that we are all different, and just find the joy in that, and find what makes you different, and just embrace that and take that out into the world and just make you the best you can be, and embrace your differences.
I love that. I love that you're really amplifying on the differences and just giving people permission, right? To be different,
yes,
to own that and to step into that your power, your presence, definitely your potency, just with more ease.
Oh yeah.
I
and it makes it way more fun too.
I know. As you were sitting here talking about this, I have someone in my life. And she's telling me, she's like, Teri, sometimes your energy is too much. and I'm sitting here as you're sitting here thinking about this. And I'm like, like that is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we're ever too much. Right. And so,
right.
So I keep getting evidence all the time that says, you know what, like either people are going to love me or hate me, and that's okay. But just stepping into and just owning that this is who I am.
Right.
And the people that are going to attract to me and connect with me are those folks, right? And same with all of us. Every one of us has a different story, a different personality, a different blueprint, if you will.
Yes.
And so stepping into it unapologetically and just you being you do you, boo, right?
That's right.
And own the differences, own what makes you great.
Yes.
And those people that are going to love and accept you are going to love you and accept you no matter what, because they get you, right?
Right. You got it.
Love it. So,
Nailed it.
okay, so I love this. So the clarity of purpose, honing your self-awareness, and then igniting curiosity. So,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, Annie, this has been absolutely delightful. Thank you so much for bringing about your gifts to this planet so that, you can have a far-reaching impact on the people that you are connecting with as well. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your
Thank
gifts
you
with us
so
today.
much. This was so much fun. Thanks, Teri.
I am so grateful that you joined me for this episode. If you've enjoyed this, then there's just one thing that I would like you to do. Click to subscribe and leave me a rating and review. As my way to thank you, let's connect for a free consultation. Just reach out to me at talkingwithteri, that's TERI.com, to book your time.